Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Louis Mishpas Am Yakashov Leah Basitzchok. We're holding in Makos Daf Yud Zayin. We're starting at 2 dots down in Daf Yud Zayin, about 8 lines for the daf of the top of Amud Aleph. Says the more Kama Yoichal Min HaTevel. How much you're chayav if someone ate tevel? So the Gemara in the Mishnah brought machlekes: is it a kazayis or is it a burial? It says of Shimon, even one kernel of wheat is chayav because it's a burial. Burial means what? The way it was created. It's a full thing. Amar Abibi Amar Shimon Melokesh machlekes bechito achas. Bechito, one with kernel of wheat. Aval bekemach. Talking about flour. Dirakol kazayis. That means once it's not it's the way it was created, you need to have a kazayis. Lokesh in both. So what about an ant? One ant you chayav because it's a burial. So the answer it's a burial. The mall is different. Also, kernel of wheat is also kibbutz. So chito in kemach loy dafka chito nar kemach. So more divrei komalu. It's talking little shit also. Lididi afilu kemach nami. Going to be even flour. Eldid chuoit lumiaz the chito achas kibbutz. Ali, I hold that everything is even the smallest amount, as we'll see in the moment in the Gemara. He holds from Malkis, you don't have to have kazais. But at least burial, something that's how it was created, you should be chayav. It has to be a bris teshama. Toys he has a discussion. What does it mean bris teshama? Does it have to be? I have to move the stand so I can see Dr. Rozorski's face. But what does it mean bris teshama? Does it mean a burial that has its own neshama, or even if it's a piece of a neshama, like an aveil? Taika said that Makos and a korban. For Makos, it's even the smallest amount. To get Makos, it's the smallest piece. When do you say kazayis for korban? It says Rashi, it's alocha Moshe V'sina. That's alocha Moshe V'sina. So the Mishnah. Hoichel bikurim at shaloi kara aleim. The Mishnah is continuing to say all the Makos that we have. Someone needs bikurim before. What's the bikurim before what? Before he gave it the name of bikurim, which means before he will see. Sorry, that name of bikurim. I'm mistake. Not the name of bikurim, as the lotion. The Karaleh means he did not read the Mikra Bikurim. When you bring the Bikurim to Bisavigdosh, you have to read the Parasha, where we have an Agada. He did not do Mikra Bikurim, you can't eat it. So, Oichu Bikurim, Shaloi Karaleh. Oh, Kodesh Kadosh Chutz HaKloim. Yei Kodesh Kadosh Matzah Bisavigdosh. Or Kodesh Kalim V'Yisasheni Chutz HaKloim. Yei Kodesh Kalim V'Yisasheni outside of Yerushalayim. Someone who breaks the bone of the Torah di Pesach. In all these cases, you get Makos. Someone who leaves the korban Torah, it makes it nicer. What did we learn before? What's a nicer? That's Lav Shem Ma'aseh, or Natural Safek. Someone who breaks the bone of a Pesach, which is Tomei, ain't a look at boy. There's no Makos Abonim. We'll see the Gemara away. Someone who took the mother, the bird mother, together, and he did not do shalach to shalach. We do him like if you know shalach gets Makos, it doesn't do shalach. Why not? What's the machlekes? As we saw before, according to Rabbi Yudo, you say it's a shekadmur lalav. Send the mother. Don't take the kids. But if he did take the kids, too late. In Chaymold, it's a lav shenitik lase. Don't take them. If you take them, don't take the mother. If you take her, send her back. Sakla, there's the rule called mitzvahs loisas. That's the rule of lav shenitik lase. If you have a essay, you don't get Makos. This that we mentioned regarding bikurim is a kivo. Stiptor, we call it stiptor. Stam Mishnahs like him. Many times Rebbe wants to say the Mishnah great name. I'm going to bikurim anochim makos ben kurei makos ben. So b'chacham you all know Only Anoch, what's Anoch? You put the Bikurim next to the Mizbeach. Kriya, you don't need in order to make it Bikurim. So, why you say Rabbanan? Say Rabbi Shimon, as we'll see in a moment, Rabbi Shimon said it too. So, what? Kavash Rav, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Tzvila. We're going to tell you the Chiddush. Rabbi Akiva holds the same way. What does he hold? The Bikurim, when does it become Bikurim? When you do Kriya. My Rabbi Shimon, the Tanya. Now, the following pasuk is going. The pasuk says, "You can't eat out of its place." What? And the pasuk brings a full list. So I'm sure you point out. The list already is mentioned before. This puts out over here. The list is mentioned before, so the list is extra. Now, what is the list saying? It's a meiser. V'sorjecho, v'itzorecho, u'bekariz b'karcha v'tzonecho, v'chol darecha shetidor, v'idversecho, v'tshuvas yodecho. So the last thing in the pasuk is tshuvas yodecho. Now, what we're going to do over here is Rabbi Shimon is going to dash it from the end to the beginning, as the Gemara is going to point out in a moment. We're taking the last thing in the pasuk, we're dashing it, and then we're going backwards. So he starts with the last one. So he says, the Truma said, the last thing in the pasuk, Eilu Bikurim. That's Bikurim. What does it come to teach you? By Bikurim, don't eat it out of its place. What does it mean? You want to tell me you can't eat it out of what? Out of Yerushalayim. Kavachayim Ma'aser Akal. Not for Ma'aser. If a Ma'aser you get Malchus, which is more Kal, Rabbi Shimon holds the Ma'aser is more Kal. The Gemara is going to challenge it in a moment. Right now, the Gemara is saying that according to Rabbi Shimon, Ma'aser is more Kal. Ma'aser, can you eat it out of Yerushalayim? Ma'aser Sheni? No. So we may live Bikurim L'Kol Shekar because Bikurim we can't eat out of Yerushalayim. So what is the Torah going to tell you? I already know you can't eat out of Yerushalayim. Chiddush is you can't eat it until you do the Kriya. That's a Chiddush. Next word in the pasuk backwards. We're going from the last one to the first one. So going backwards. One before the last. Verit v'yisecho. What's in v'yisecho? Zu toido v'shlamim. That's korban toido, korban shlamim. Same there. What is it? What is the chiddush over here? Im lo yechlu chutz choymo dinal l'riyat Yerushalayim. Kavachoyim meiser. From meiser. Meiser you can't have Yerushalayim. So kol sheken toido shlamim. To tell me now, toido shlamim, once you threw the blood, you can eat it. But if you ate before you threw the blood, yeah, that's the chiyuv. That's this. Ubikoyrois, what's bikoyrois? Zabchor. I'm sure my bazal neinu. What's a chiddush? Im lo yechutz choyim kavchoyim ma'aser. You can't ma'aser. You don't eat outside. So kosh can abchor. Even if it's weak, you want to make it before you threw the blood. According to Shimon, this is more kal. Oh, that's a chiddush. Even after Zvika. Who's allowed to eat b'chor after Zvika? If anybody learned Masechet B'chor even a little bit, so we know that. Who eats the b'chor? Kohen. So it's the answer for the Yisrael to eat after Zvika. Be careful, be careful. We know you're going to turn around. Yeah, right over there. He does it purposely.
Zrika is irrelevant for non-Torah.
Right. Say, but it's a special issue. Before Zrika, everybody can eat it, even a Kohen. After Zrika, the special din ma'azah. In other words of the pasuk, other animals, chatos v'asham, korbanos chatos v'asham. What's the chiddush? You can't eat out of Yerushalayim. Even if you can't eat before throwing the blood, to tell you for the kohen who could eat it, that's only a Beis Hamikdash. You took it out of Beis Hamikdash, you can't eat it anymore. Next, another word in the pasuk, zuaylo. What's coming to teach you? In the Zvika, you can't eat for Zvika. You can't eat Even a kohen is a zar for oil. Im chutzakloim kavachoyim mechatas v'asho. Haloi ba'akasu et ba'akasu elo with daf zar base. Oichel min oil lachazuka filu bifnim shuloik. By oil, even a kohen, he eats it even inside. He gets Makos. Each one is teaching me something else. Now, realize, as the Gemara is going to point out in one moment, that the only way this is it's a build-up. You start from, you said, Ma'aser already know, so why do you need Bikurim? Why do you need Toid V'Shlam? Oh, I already know, now I know from Ma'aser, I know Chutzachim. Toid V'Shlamim, I know Lifnei Zriko. So why do I need Chatas V'Asho? Chadosh was after Zriko. So why do I need Bechor? Each one is a build-up. Each one teaches you something new. But if I would start the opposite, why? Because according to Shimon, each one is more chum. Oila is more chum than the Chatas V'Asho, which is more chum than the Bechor, which is more chum than Toid V'Shlamim, which is more chum than the Ma'aser. But if I would start with Oila, there's no more Kavach to do. Because I would say, if it says Oila, why do you tell me Bikurim? I tell you, why do you Chatas V'Asho? Because I wouldn't know Chatas V'Asho when Oila is more chum. So according to Shimon, you're specifically going in this order. You're going from the lighter one to the heavier one. Start with Ma'aser, you get to Bikurim, then you go to Toid V'Shlamim, etc. Tell you, I know this, so maybe I know the next one. So what did the next one teach me? Something new. So the Gemara, Amar Rava, the Yaldi Imek have Shimon Telet, the Ilah Lo Tiel. That's our guess. So Shimon, anybody who his mother gave birth to him, Shimon, that's a good birth. And if not, don't give birth. Whoa. Look at Rashi. Rashi says, the old Imek have Shimon Telet, second Rashi, the Almod, Kol Shimon Letz of Kesh Rachmi, Yotzu Sheik have Shimon. And the Mashmol says, if not, don't give birth. How do you understand this? What, you can't give birth unless there's Shimon. Shimon Bar Yochai is the biggest Gadol Adar. What are you trying to say over here? So I saw one of the first wants to bring. The Gemara says that Shimon says if the whole world is chayav, I could save the world. If the whole world is zeicha because of if it's shloisha, these are the three. If it's two, it's me and my son. If it's only one, it's me. So that's what it means. The yod to keep Shimon. If the whole world is chayav, I need to Shimon to save the world. So if I need Shimon to save the world, that's what we're referring to over here. But the Rita tells us that's the Mashmos also in Rashi. You don't read both sentences. It says someone who has a boy like a Shimon, that's good. And if not, it's also good. It's not as good. You don't read the second sentence, V'im lav lo yitelit. That's a special thing to read. And that's why they saw someone says, we're getting now close to like Boimer. Like Boimer, we dance and sing, Nasa Odom Ne'ema Bavrecho. Nasa Odom was sent to Shimon Bar Yochai. Because it says Shimon Bar Yochai that whoever his mother gave birth to him, that's the ultimate birth. It's a relative nice Odom. So we'll say it's great if Shimon is so gishrak. Even though everything he says I can question. Says the one, what do you mean? So Gemara explains. The whole of Shimon is based on the fact each one is more chum. Bikurim is more chum than the Ma'aser. Toid V'Shlam is more chum than the Ma'aser. Why is Bikurim more chum than the Ma'aser? Because Bikurim, who can eat Bikurim? Only a kohen, like Truma. Ma'aser, everybody can eat. Yeah, but a Ma'aser, who can eat Ma'aser? Ma'aser, someone who's an oinen. What's an oinen? What is an oinen?
Before the funeral.
The first day. The first day. It's called oinen.
Till buried.
Even if he's buried. Oinen.
I'm saying even if he's not buried?
Even if he's not buried, yeah, it's till the buried. Or the first day. Either or. If he's buried right away, it's the first day.
If the burial is like...
If the burial is that day, she's only until the end of the day. So Oinen cannot eat Ma'aser. But he couldn't be Kurim. We learned that in Yevamis. That's the dinner. So you see Ma'aser is more Chomer. So Shimon says, the Kurim is more Chomer than Ma'aser. Who said? The next thing, the part of Shimon assumed, was Toid V'Shlam is more Chomer than Ma'aser. Why is it more Chomer? Shekatuni, Matan, Domim, V'imun, Gam, Mizbech. I'll tell you why. Because by Toid V'Shlam, you have to put the blood on the Mizbech. by Meiser Bikurim not. Other Meiser Chomish Kedunim Kesetzura. What's a Kesetzura? When you redeem Meiser, you have to have a special coin. Mashiach by other culture, we don't. Umay Chomer the Bchor Mitoy Shlom. Why Bchor is more Chomer? Shekik Dusha Somirechem. What's unique about Bchor? It's born Kaddish, right? It's born Kaddish. What? Smicho, Nisaki, Mitnufas, Chazev, Shoik. Remember that by Shlamim, we're going to see all this when we get closer to Kodshim. What is a Smicha? What is Smicha by Kodshim? Leaning. Kodshim Shat. Your whole Koichoi. What is Nisachim? Wine. What is Tufas, Chazev, Shoik? You have to pick up the Chazev, Shoik. That's all by Shlamim, not by Bchor. And what we said also, the Chavos is more Chomer, in what way? Shekei Kodesh Kadosh, because that's Kodesh Kadosh. It's not shady. Bchor is more Chomer because it's Kedushah Merechem. Why is oil more Chomer than Echad Zosham? Shekei Kodesh, because it's completely on the Mizbeach. More Chomer because they do Kapara. Oil is not kapara, at least not direct kapara. More brings in zvachim. Oil is considered to be mekufya mekapra. It's mechaper, but not directly. You know what's more common? You think oil is chamer because it goes kumim. What is oil? Oil, you take the entire korban, put it in the mizbech. Yeah, but that's a chumrah. Other korbanos, you have a piece that goes to Hashem, a piece goes to the owner. Maybe that's better. So all the assumptions of Shimon are not great assumptions. So, well, the mighty leader Imek of Shimon. So what does it mean that whoever gave birth to Shimon is good? The mighty severely the day misarisly lekro v'dorishly. According to the Shimon understanding, in order to get to the Havana that we have, as we mentioned before, he had to take the pasuk not in order. He has to go from the end to the beginning, as we said. Because what is the whole cheshbon of Shimon? If you'll tell me Bechor, I will not know Chatas V'Oshel. I won't know Torah Shlomim. Tell me Torah Shlomim. Sorry, if you tell me Meiser, I know Torah Shlomim. So according to Torah Shlomim is something new. If you tell me Torah Shlomim, I already know Chatas V'Oshel. So if you tell me something new. If you tell me Chatas V'Oshel, I know Oil. Tell me something new. But if I would start with Oil, I can't say I know. So you have to start in that order. So I'm changing the order of the pasuk. Say the Rishay says Taisis. So why are you changing the order? It says this, I have to change the order because if not, what's the extra words of the pasuk? The pasuk gives me the whole list. I already know the list. What? So this list is the Chiddush. What's the Chiddush on the list? So you have to tell me to do it in a different order. That's called Misaris. Misaris means you change the order. Sirus. You're not in the right direction. So instead of dash to the pasuk top to bottom, I dash from bottom to top. What's forcing me to do that? Extra words. But I can't do it top to bottom because that doesn't work. I want to have to do a sequence that works. I have to go from a kal for something which is more kal to the more chum. Kal I know, so of course the chamos teach me something new. Chaber I know, so the next thing is teaching me something new. Everything is building up on the next one. So I have to go in that order. So Reb Shimon is dashing in a good way they can dash it. So I saw the Yo Gutmacher, right? One of the later Achronim. He brings a long shtickle. But he wants to say, what's the beautiful thing about Reb Shimon? He says, there's two ways to do a drosha. You can say a drosha, which is very dry, but it's emes. A good word. Gewaldig, good word. Or you can say a drosha is not a good word, but at least you say it nicely. You build it up, make a beautiful drosha out of it. But if you have neither, so then if you're saying not good and not saying a good drosha, so then nobody wants to listen to it. So that's what he says. So he explains that that's the shot of anything more. He says, anybody who has a kid like Reb Shimon, that even when he says something that I disagree with, but at least it's so beautiful, it's said in such a beautiful way, that's good. So even when he says something which is not accepted, at least it says it in a beautiful way. So that's what he's saying. Why Mishabach Reb Shimon? Because he's changed the order of the pasuk to say it in a beautiful way. That is the Likud. So we'll stop over here, because here the Gemara goes into the next Amud. For here we're starting at Shabbos. Shabbos, the daf is at 5:50 p.m. 5:30 is Mincha, and 5:50 is Daf. Everybody's invited to come. Hope to see everybody. Have a wonderful Shabbat.